So hi, welcome to this lightning talk about teaching programming to your niece, even if she doesn't know English. In fact, it should probably have been called How to Localize a Programming Language. But you should realize that this is all just a teaser. And I blame Richard Hainsworth for this, because he's the one who came up with the idea at the Raku Core Summit. But so this is really just a teaser of things to come. You'll find more in upcoming blog posts. Still need to do a lot of work, but a lot of stuff has been done already. So the question, is this Raku code? And I guess you can look at it quickly and say, yes, this is Raku code. We run it and something comes out of that. But is this Raku code? Well, this doesn't really look like Raku code, and you're right. I mean, it will not compile. So no, it's not Raku code. Is this Raku code? Well, it looks a little bit German, but it's not really Raku code, is it? Indeed, it is not. So this is not Raku code either. So is this Raku code? Well, it's French, but no, it's not Raku code. And the same goes for this Italian example. So, however, we can actually change this with a simple addition by adding a line to it, namely use localization Netherlands, and all of a sudden this is valid code and it runs. We can do the same for German. We can do the same for French. And we can do the same for Italian at the moment. So, how is this at all possible? You might ask. Well, Raku OST is basically the key to this. You need to have Raku AST specified in your environment. This really forces the new grammar to be used when you're actually parsing your programs. And then the use statement actually activates the slang for the current scope. And yeah, it was really impossible to do this with legacy grammar because we didn't have the abstraction layer that Raku AST is. Some note here, all examples will work with the next release of Rakudo, and most of them will actually work with the current release. So what do we need for this? We need a translation database. And at the moment, the translation database is a simple text file, one for each language. Basically, it has a category marker for each line, the item that we need to actually translate it, and the translation. And if you want to find more about this, you can actually check out the tools templates localization directory in your Rakudo checkout. So what else do we need? A generator script. The generator script takes the translation database and creates roles for it. And it also handles the deep parsing logic, which basically is a big hash for lookups and things and translate that to something else. So what was needed in the Raku grammar to make this all possible? Well, we needed to add a number of tokens. This should look familiar, but as you can see, there's no actually translation happening here. And we actually had to change the Raku grammar. So before that, we had always had these sim pseudo tokens, and these now become real tokens with the given name and the given, and in this case, the given and when tokens that we just created. What was needed in the Raku actions? Well, actually not a lot. We just did a lot of streamlining there. There's some string lookups that you need to do, and they're impossible to tokenize, but that's not basically inside of this lightning talk. Deep parsing tweaks that we needed to do. Well, before we had just this text, and after that we just had a method call that basically specified the category and the word that needs to be translated. Now suppose you get support questions in another language. Now suppose we have this in Dutch. What do we do? Well, we can actually create an AST out of that, which is really not that informative because it's really verbose and it doesn't actually help you that much. But fortunately, we can actually translate that with deep parse into the core language in this case, or if you want to translate it into another language like Italian. So what needs to be done still? Documentation needs to be done. We need to do error messages, and we need to look at the IDEs, and that's going to be a problem for comma. So what do you need to do to actually add your own language? Well, download that file, translate as many items as you can, and look at the context and basically make a PR of that. I'll be taking questions later on. Thank you for watching.